Let's look at using synthetic division to factorize cubic functions. So, first thing we do is learn how to find the first factor. So you try substituting integers, positive and negative numbers, into the equation until you get a solution of 0. So find a factor, x-intercept, for each of the following equations. Let's do the first one there. Y is equal to x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x minus 10. Wherever I see x, let's try substituting 1 first. So y is equal to 1 cubed plus 2 into 1 squared minus 3 into 1 minus 10. Put that on your calculator and your calculator will give you an answer of negative 10. Now since negative 10 is not 0, 1 is not a factor. So 1 didn't work, cross it out. Let's try 2. So wherever I see x, I'll substitute 2. So y is equal to 2 cubed plus 2 into 2 squared minus 3 into 2 minus 10. Put that on your calculator and you will get an answer of 0. This means that 2 is a factor. So x equals 2 is your factor here. Your first factor. Right, let's fully factorize a cubic function now. So y is equal to 1x cubed minus 4x squared minus 9x plus 36. I have gone and already found the first factor. I tried substituting 1, it didn't work, 2 didn't work, but when I tried 3, it gave me an answer of 0. So my first factor is x is equal to 3. We will use synthetic division to factorize this cubic function. So there's my table that I've set up here for my synthetic division. The first thing you do in the table is you put in your first factor, which was 3. The next thing you do is, in your cubic function, I want you to take all the coefficients and write them down. So the coefficient of x cubed is 1, there we go. The coefficient of x squared is negative 4, there we go. The coefficient of x is negative 9, there we go. The coefficient of, and the constant, 36. Goes at the end, there we go. Okay, the next thing you do is you bring down the first number. So 1, all you do is you bring it down. There we go. Now what you do is you take your factor of 3 here and you multiply by 1. 3 times 1 is 3 and that answer goes there. Now you look at your next column, you're going to do what it says. It says negative 4 and positive 3. Negative 4 plus 3 gives me negative 1 here at the bottom. Now this negative 1 again, at the bottom you take your factor of 3 and you're going to multiply by negative 1. 3 times negative 1 gives me negative 3. And that goes there. Negative 3 here. Now again, you do what it says in this column. It says negative 9 and it says negative 3. So negative 9 minus 3 gives me negative 12 at the bottom. Again, you're going to take your negative 12 and you're going to multiply it by a factor of 3. So 3 times negative 12 is going to give me negative 36 and that goes there. Now again in this column you do what it says. It says positive 36 on the top, negative 36 underneath. So do what it says. 36 minus 36 gives me 0. You must end with 0. Now what you do is, the first factor was x is equal to 3. I want you to bring that down, but once you put it in a bracket, it becomes x minus 3. You change the sign of the factor. The next bracket, you're going to open out a bracket and this becomes your quadratic equation now. So this 1 becomes 1x squared, this negative 1 becomes negative x, and this negative 12 is now your constant for your quadratic equation. The next step is to factorize your trinomial here, or your quadratic equation. You can use the cross method. You are going to get your two factors here, x minus 4 and x plus 3. The next step is to take each one of these 3 brackets and equate them to 0 and solve for x. So x minus 3 is equal to 0, it means that x is 3. X minus 4 is 0, it means that x is 4. X plus 3 is 0, so it means x is negative 3. Which means that your 3x intercepts are 3 and 0, 4 and 0, and negative 3 and 0. So we have factorized a cubic function, and these are our x-intercepts for the cubic.